Today we're making berry oatmeal breakfast bars, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I have my bestie Rachel here. My neighbor, my lovely neighbor who lets me invade her kitchen. Cook something up here. So right now we have what, Rachel?
So we have the QUICKJAM, basically. So it's no pectin, nothing like a traditional jam, but it's basically just macerated berries, which is cooked down with some lemon juice, fresh lemon zest, and sugar. And then I've also added some vanilla bean and cinnamon stick too. So
Awesome.
yeah.
And then I brought strawberries to add to it.
Yes.
So how much strawberries? Yep, there it is, the lovely jam. So how much strawberries?
So we'll probably do like half and half. So we can save some for the top of the bars.
Okay.
And when we start layering it in the pan, we'll use some of the fresh strawberries for the top.
Okay.
And then we'll just kind of stretch the cooked down berries with the fresh strawberries, so it's just a bit more texture.
Sounds good. Am I doing this right? Yeah. Okay, what I'm doing is just dicing up my lovely strawberries here so we can add it to our lovely jam because we're stretching it a bit. That good?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Just add it in there?
Yep. Add it in, and we're gonna pull out the cinnamon sticks and the vanilla bean.
Oh, I guess, okay.
And I also had left a half of a lemon. I squeezed and I zested so that
Fresh vanilla bean, everyone. Now you said what now? It adds, it's more potent?
it's just a completely different flavor than
Your
vanilla
regular
extract. So
wow.
the way that they make an extract is by using fresh vanilla beans. And when you are using an extract, it usually also has something that has extracted that flavor from it.
Right.
So, like
so we're going right to the
alcohol
fresh.
or something that
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
almost
it smells so good.
distills it. So
Do we have a cinnamon stick in here?
there should be 2 in there, yes. And it's okay if we can't find it, we can always just
Yeah.
scoop around it.
Okay. Because I can't find it.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So, all right.
So on the vanilla bean, I will, do you want me to get you? So on a vanilla bean, after it's been used, I always put it into berry mixes. If I'm like steeping a liquid or I'm using like cream or milk or anything like that, I put it right in whatever I'm heating. So it's extracting all the flavor, and then it's also heating up the bean. So what you do is you slice it down the center without going all the way through if you can. And this is cooled a little bit. It's going to be
a little tougher.
Yeah, because it's real. You can kind of feel like how it's like grainy, like thread. So typically when it's warm, it'll open right up.
Yes, you did.
But because I let it cool with the mix, it's a little more.
That's it.
So you'll see it, yeah, you'll see it kind of open up, and then you flip your knife over, and you just start pressing down the inside of the bean. And you can see all the vanilla.
So we're adding it to it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep. So like when you get vanilla, real, vanilla bean ice cream or anything, you see all the black specks in it.
Oh, I didn't
That's
think
exactly what
about
it
that.
is. Yep.
Okay. Vanilla
So
bean
you can
ice
see
cream.
here how it's. Yeah, well. But yeah, that's all it is.
Okay.
So.
You learn something new every day. And usually you could just probably purchase this like right next to all the lovely.
Yeah, it'd be all right in the spice.
Awesome.
I don't like to waste it. It is quite expensive.
Yeah.
You can buy it in bulk. That's the best
It's better
option
with-
because
okay.
it's obnoxious. You buy one just simply retail at a regular store. It's like $18 or $20 for just 1 or 2 vanilla beans, and it's not necessarily that expensive if you can get it bulk. So
We don't play.
a lot less. But yeah. So just has a lot different quality. Flavor that it adds. It's not that extracts aren't great. They have they serve their purpose. They're really great. They add a lot of really potent strength.
Yeah, we like those.
More subtle and just a lot lot different flavor. So, which I prefer in something, you know, where I'm trying to let like whatever it is that's featured in the dessert or whatever I'm making, I want that to be the star.
Yeah,
not
that's it, yeah.
anything overpowering. So
Right.
it just complements it really nicely as opposed to overtakes it.
That's good too.
Yeah.
So no mixer is needed for this recipe, which is kind of a plus, mamas, because who wants to bring out that big equipment anyway? But, so right now we're grabbing our utensils to make the crust. And we're about to layer some stuff. So when you put this jam together, you know, I'm trying to make sure I cover all my bases here. How long do you let everything simmer together?
So it's about 30 minutes.
Okay. 30 minutes.
I brought all the items to a boil and then I let it simmer for maybe 20 minutes.
Okay.
So, and then I let it cool
Okay.
for a few hours. So.
Awesome. Okay, so now we're getting into the cruster. First step for our crust.
So we will need to measure out our oats. 1 1/4 cup of oats.
Okay. This is our 1 cup here. Are we doing it in this bowl here?
Yes. So after you get the oats, then we're gonna do just an all-purpose flour. I'll put that in way, and it'll be 1 1/2 cups of the flour. We'll mix that with the oats. Mix with.
Okay, so 1 1/2.
Okay, so then we'll do sugar.
Okay.
This is granulated sugar. And 3/4 cup of sugar. A little less of the 1 cup. Like
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
75% of the way up.
I'm an eyeballer. Hopefully my eyes are good that day. All right. And we have...
And then we're going to have a 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And brown sugar, you always, unless it specifies to not pack it, it's always going to be packed.
Yeah.
Yep. Whereas like flour,
Doesn't have to be.
yeah. It'll
So
actually throw
pack
the
your
recipe
brown
off.
sugar.
Okay, so then we're going to do salt. This is going to be our last one, and this is just natural sea salt. And we'll do 2 teaspoons
Okay.
of that.
There we go.
Alright. Then, this is your unsalted melted butter. So that's
Unsalted.
3/4 cup or
Just-
1 1/2 sticks of
Okay.
unsalted butter.
Just pour it all in?
Yeah, you pour it in, and then you'll just mix those together. It'll be like a crumbly mixture.
Okay.
And that's going to be both the crust portion as well as the crumbles on the top.
Ooh.
Everything.
Crumbly.
Old-fashioned oats.
Okay,
Like
I
if you
remember
were to
asking
make
that.
oatmeal,
Right.
it's going to take longer to cook.
Okay.
It takes longer for it to soak up the
And
liquid.
that's the quick oats.
That's the old-fashioned oats.
Oh,
or,
okay.
Yeah, rolled oats, things like that. Steel cut oats are much longer. Those are processed differently.
Oh, okay.
So, quick oats have basically already gone through a partial cooking process. So
Okay.
that's why they
So this-
don't take long to cook.
Right, so that's why this is old-fashioned oats are a little better to cook for baking.
Yeah, for things like bars, especially, you know, like jammy breakfast bars, you want like a chewy texture. So
Right,
an
right.
old-fashioned oat's going to be preferable to get you that. You can use quick oats and, you know, it'll work. It's not...
But you said it'd be a bit more mushier, right?
Yeah, it's not going to have that good like oatmeal chewy texture to it, so, which is kind of ideal with
Right.
like a breakfast bar or a chewy jam bar, you know,
Right.
something like that. It's going to give you a better mouthfeel.
Can I keep mixing?
You can have them actually kind of soak up a little bit, and
Oh,
then I'll
okay.
get your pan ready, and then we can start layering all your layers. Big pan is 9 by 13.
Right.
And a lot of times with bars, you'll see recipes that call for lining with parchment paper and then spraying the parchment paper with baking spray, oil, flouring it, whatever. And that's basically so that you can lift out afterwards. And you peel away the parchment paper and then you can slice a lot more easily. You know, just kind of depends on how you're wanting to serve it. If you're wanting to, you know, bring it to an event and you can bake it into a pan, it's going to be more ideal to leave it all in there and cut it and serve it that way.
Right.
Totally kind of preference of whoever's making it. So,
Okay.
totally up to you.
Yeah.
But parchment paper is good for typically up to like 400 and 450 degrees parchment.
Okay.
And we're just going to spray. Give it a quick spray
Right.
while we spray the rest of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And everyone around us. And it also, this recipe specifically calls for flouring after spraying, which is really common actually with cakes.
Oh.
So all you do is you spray and then you add a little bit of
Wow. So we don't stick.
yes. Just as like an added measure.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's good.
And yes, I mean, like I ripped the corner of the parchment, like it's not, you know.
A big deal.
No. It's just gonna be something that helps us and assists us with removing the bars so that we can cut it more easily and not, you know, have corners and edges all stuck to the pan and we're not missing some of our bars. So
Perfect.
yeah, doesn't have to be perfect, basically. So we'll take some of this and we'll layer and make a bottom crust layer.
Okay.
So you can pour some in there and then we'll basically pat it down.
Okay.
And
Tell me when it's good.
we'll do enough so that it covers the bottom and then we'll press it down so that it can
Get all.
be a nice crust
Get nice crust, right?
layer for us. And then the rest is going to be our crumbly topping.
Oh, okay.
On top of our jam fresh fruit layers.
Gotcha. So like this?
Yeah, that'll be fine. And then we'll just kind of you can take your hands and just kind of, I just move it so it's like all covering everywhere that I need it to. And then I just press it down so that it's actually going to be, you know,
crust.
like an actual crust.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Pretty
So
simple.
now.
So then we can start taking some of our, I'm gonna get you a ladle.
Okay.
We'll start taking some of our jam layer and
I'm here. I don't know that. Ah, it's good. Yeah, you do it.
we'll just scoop some of the jam onto the crust.
Okay.
And then we'll layer and sprinkle some of the fresh cut strawberries over the jam.
Okay, I think I just found the other cinnamon sticks already.
There we go.
She added cinnamon sticks to it, and I couldn't find it earlier, but it tastes great with it.
You will find it.
Yeah. It'll show up eventually.
Yeah.
So, okay. It's totally random because I would
Yeah, it's kind of just basically preference. So if you're wanting, you know,
make it a mess here.
to just kind of do like a nice even layer over.
Like that?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Bars are really cool because they really are just kind of whatever you're wanting to do, right?
Right.
So,
I can't get enough.
yeah.
Awesome.
So then after this, we'll just take your fresh cut strawberries
Okay.
and
Oh, like
some over the top.
this. Okay.
So this has a little bit different texture and
Yeah.
you know, it's not going to be a cooked down berry like the jams are.
Just adding a few.
And you can use whatever you want. Add some on the top wherever you're wanting some extra crunch because this is going to be more like the chewy, crunchy top layer rather than the pressed in harder crust. So we'll just be going in a 350 degree oven for
350?
about 55 minutes or so to start. We'll see where
Okay.
that gets us. So I'll check that.
In we go. In this for 350. What's some stuff that we can look for to know it when it's done, to know when it's ready.
So especially since you're going to have something like the jam that you'll see
Right.
coming up through the streusel topping,
Okay.
you're going to see like bubbling of the jam and it'll be a little bit darker color.
Okay.
And since you have the parchment paper underneath lining it, you'll be able to, you know, lift and kind of get a much better feel for the crust.
Oh, okay.
Generally, it's just kind of a look, touch,
Yeah.
smell at a certain point.
Yeah.
You just get a familiarity with it. So
Okay.
you'll be able to kind of really see it and by the, you know,
Yeah.
temperature of the bubbly jam and the color of the streusel topping, you can
Okay.
basically tell that it's good.
It's ready to go. I can't wait to taste.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bars are done. How long did we leave them in the fridge?
For an hour.
For an hour, so they're nice and cooled. What does leaving them in the refrigerator do?
Especially when you have a jam in any type of dessert, it's just gonna help set it. So it'll make it a lot less messy to cut, as well as enjoying it and eating it. It's not gonna just,
Yeah, mush apart.
yeah,
Like I would have
break
done.
away and melt apart and stuff. It'll be a bit more
Yeah.
substantial. So.
Awesome. So let's see this parsnip paper in action here. I already got to it.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier
It
though.
makes it tons easier. Easy to clean up, which is definitely a must for us moms.
Yes.
It's definitely coming apart. Easy, no stick. I would have never thought about it. That's
It
awesome.
makes a big difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. We don't want to be scrubbing pans for hours.
Nope.
So let's cut into this bad boy. Wow. Let's just do one of these motions here. And I just want to show the awesome work that we did. Nice and thick. Huh? Awesome.
Looks beautiful.
It looks great.
Yep.
Well, of course I'll cut you on. I'll put my germs on it. No, I'm just kidding. I totally washed my hands.
Sharon's here.
Sharing is definitely caring. She shared everything with me. Let's give her
Thank
a
you.
taste. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Excellent job.
Love it. Good work.
I couldn't have done it without you.
You did great.
Thank you. So
Very
the
good.
recipe is definitely going to be in the description. All the ingredients you need for right here to make this thing happen here. And if you like this video, definitely comment, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more.
Oh, I'm more right now.
I know, right? I actually like it chilled. It's really good.